You might have heard a number of times that man is a social animal. Now, whenever a reference to human being is made, he is termed under, he or she is termed under the category of being an animal. Actually, we are animals only, because if we analyze that cytological level of classifying the organisms, we have all the criterias which are necessary for being an animal. And till now we had discussed the animals. We are dealing with kingdom Animalia, and over here we are going to discuss the class to which we belong, and we belong to the class known as class Mammalia. Now, all these that are shown over here, from the huge whales, the largest organism present on earth, the ones, not organism, the largest animal being precise, because we considered plants as animals, organisms as well, and those plants which are more than 400 feet, they are also organisms. So, we cannot term whale as the largest living organism. Instead, the largest living animal, that is the whale. From the whales to the small shrews, the rats and rest of the bats, all these are mammals. Now, what are the characteristic features for being a mammal? First is that the name has something in it. Mammalia has those organisms which have mammary glands. All the organisms which have mammary glands, which are important for feeding the young ones, those organisms which would have the females which have mammary glands present in them for feeding their young ones and which secrete milk, those organisms would be under class Mammalia. Now, this is the first characteristic feature that would be present. Second characteristic feature, first is mammary gland. Second would be that the skin or the surface of their skin is often having body hair. As I tell you each and every feature, try to relate if we people are having those features or not. So, there are body hair that are to be present. Third is that because the earlier category was warm blooded, so these are also warm blooded. Yes, we have that constant temperature, not just we, all the animals, all the mammals that we talk about, they have that warm blooded nature. First is mammary gland, second is body hair, third is warm blooded, fourth is external ears. Now, you see, those of the classes that we had studied till now, we did not talk about external ears. Over here we have pinna, external openings of the ear. In the case of birds also we had ears, but they did not have external ears. So, this is the one of the characteristic features. These four characteristic features are very, very important for an organism to be classified as a mammal. The fifth one is diaphragm. There is a presence of muscular diaphragm that is present on which the lungs are located. Supposedly this is the pair of lungs I talk about human beings. There is a muscular flap known as diaphragm. So, the muscular diaphragm is also characteristic feature of the mammals. These are the 5 features that we talk about. Apart from this, let us talk about their respiration. The respiration is through lungs, those which are terrestrial, and those which are aquatic. Example of the aquatic mammals is dolphin and whales. And if we see the cladogram of whales, they are closely related to hippopotamus. The hippopotamus stays in water and whale is a relative of hippopotamus only. They breathe properly. Whale has to come above the surface, and for breathing it has to take that terrestrial method of breathing. That shows that somewhere they were terrestrial organisms which have moved back to water. Same as in the case of dolphins, they also come above the surface of water for breathing. So, the terrestrial method of breathing is there, that is through lungs. The fertilization happens to be internal. Some of the mammals could be oviparous, while some of them could be viviparous. We have the example of bats. They can fly. They can, we have mammals which can fly. There is another category of mammals, that is, some are placental mammals, some are marsupials, as the example of kangaroo and flying fox. We have kangaroos as marsupials. So, let us see how many types of mammals could be present. First is there would be oviparous mammals which lay eggs, and over here we have example of duck-billed platypus. Then we have those mammals which are marsupials, those which are found in Australia. In Australia, if you go, you would find so many marsupials. All the type of mammals would be there. But instead of placental growth, their young ones would grow in a pouch, as in the case of kangaroo, as in the case of koala. So those are marsupial, and the most advanced ones are placental mammals, that is, we belong to this category, and all these shown over here, they also belong to this placental category, that the young one would develop inside the womb of the mother. The mother would feed the young one afterwards with the milk that is produced in the mammary glands. So these are the three types of mammals that we have. We see that the reproduction is the most advanced types. We see that their body plan is also most advanced types. These are the features that are going to be present in the mammal to be a mammal. And let us see one by one the examples. I talked about an oviparous mammal, and the word ornitho we had discussed that it stands for bird. So we are talking about duck-billed platypus. You can learn this name Ornithorhynchus from the term that it is having ornitho and it lays eggs. So it is duck-billed platypus. That is also found in Australia. So you see, Australia is the hub for studying mammalian development. If we have to see how mammals have evolved in the evolutionary history, then we have Macropus, that is a marsupial kangaroo. Then we have Pteropus, that is the flying fox. In Australia, we have sugar gliders for that, those which are marsupials. Then we have Camelus. The name itself suggests that I am talking about camel. Then we have, all these are scientific names. Then we have macaca, that is a monkey, and monkey is this primates are our closest relatives. We have evolved from monkeys, that is nothing wrong in this statement we find. We actually have evolved from different types of monkeys that are apes, and they belong to the order Primata. We human beings also belong to order Primata, you must remember that. Then we have Rattus, name itself would be pointing towards a rat. Then we have Canis. Canis is the most abundant pet that you have, and it would be a dog. Then we have Felis. Nowadays people have started petting cats as well, so we have a cat. Then we have Elephas. Elephas, I can relate it with an elephant. These are all the genus names, so please pay attention. I am not referring to African elephant or the elephant that is Asian. Only simple genus names you have to take into account. Then we have Equus, another important domesticated animal by humans, that is a horse. Let's talk about aquatic mammals. Aquatic mammals, we have the first example of dolphin, that is Delphinus. Then we have the largest animal, that is Blenotera, that is a whale, blue whale. Then we have the wild cats, that is Panthera tigris. Over here I am mentioning the specific name as well, and this is the national animal of India, that is tiger. Then we have the same genus but different species and king of jungle, that is Panthera leo, the lion. You can add to your list as much as you can, but do remember these names. And with this we come to the end of all the phylums, all the classes that we had to